Me and my friends, when I went to university for a year, we went clubbing so much. We were like the regulars at this certain club. It kind of got ridiculous and it got to the point that we didn't even find it stimulating anymore. You know what we had to do? Because we got so bored of clubbing and like pulling girls and things like that. We decided to catch a train to random cities in the UK with no phone, with no money, and just see what happens, nowhere to stay. And like quite often it'd end up with him, going to a different girl's house and me sleeping in the kitchen or the other way around. That's like how bored I was of like nightlife and how kind of addicted I was to it. It was just a staple in my life for like a year. The crazy thing is I know people worse than that. I genuinely do. And you might be in the same boat where you might be a similar age to me, maybe 20 years old or so. You might have even finished university and now you're like, how do I get like a similar kick, but without drinking that alcohol, without it being late at night, disrupting the circadian rhythm? So that's why I'm here. So I'm going to talk you through different places, how to be social at these places. And yeah, so we're going to start with quite an obvious one. But I say it's an obvious one. You might have not even ever been to a coffee shop before. I mean, you might have been, but have you actually sat down at a coffee shop and like journaled or something like that by yourself? Or have you like socialized with a friend at a coffee shop? This is really underrated. So might even be a bit ahead of your time and ahead of my time, but people who are sort of in their 30s or late 20s, they'll quite often meet or like go on a date at a coffee shop, and it's a really good place to socialize, mainly because if you think about it, a lot of these like more urban, youthful coffee shops, like more upmarket, they're quite closely packed. They're full of like younger people, the younger demographic, and it's basically just a club without alcohol. Instead of the alcohol, coffee. Like, isn't that a great thing? And instead of it being at night, it's midday or in the morning. So straight away, make that switch to, if you want to meet a friend, instead of going on a two-man at a club, it's now at a coffee shop. Even if it is a two-man at a coffee shop, that's ideal. Honestly, I've been there. I mean, when I just journal alone, I quite often get a few looks, but there was this one time in particular where there was a young girl, probably 18, 19, sat next to me, and then two parents. I was journaling away. I saw the mum, she was looking at me. So I go like this. And then she was like, what are you writing about and stuff like that? Are you writing a book? I was like, I'm just writing about my thoughts and things like that. And then, of course, I speak to the young girl, get the Instagram, the dad opposite me, he was looking so awkward, and I could see the pain in his eyes because he was checking out my veins and shit on my arm as well. Because I know when a guy's looking at my left arm bicep vein, I could tell he's fucking staring at it. But yeah, like it's such an easy way to meet people, honestly. So even in your hometown, just go to a few different coffee shops. You'll find the right one. Once you find the right one, make it your social hub. I've probably taken, and like I hope the work is there. I don't think I'm gay, because I do kind of flirt with like the baristas in there. But I've taken 9 different, probably even 12 different guys, basically on dates there. But it's not actually a date. It's not like a romantic date. It's to talk about like business, talk about something, or just to socialize. I mean, you might ask the question, why haven't I taken a woman there? I'm 20 years old. I'd rather have like a good gym partner instead of a girlfriend. Crazy hot take. But one thing that I will say is coffee shop, tick. Definitely go to one. But if you're religious, in every like major city, there'll be a young people group for that religion. So for example, I'm Christian, Catholic. When I was in Manchester, I went to like a young people church group in Manchester. And then now I've got another one, and this is something I've just started to integrate like with my weekend. On a Sunday, I'll go to this young people like church group. This is so good. So good. Because at this young people church, you play board games, which it's insane because it's not as stimulate. There's like not as much dopamine from like playing a game on your phone, and you're socializing. That is, if I were every Sunday to play a board game with random people who believe in God for 2 hours, that 2 hours is so worth it. Even if you're not like drinking you're not getting like the correct water amount per day, 5 liters or whatever. That does not matter, because for 2 hours you're socializing. That's a form of self-improvement, especially when it's like something like a board game. That's what something like me desires. It's the opposite of clubbing, but you do get that kick as well, like you're clubbing. And perhaps my favourite place to socialise is gym. This has been a staple, absolute cornerstone for my journey. Now when I walk into the gym, I genuinely feel like a celebrity. And people will say it's delusion, but no one in the real world has actually told me that it's delusion. So I feel like at this point, I'm just, like, I still, in the back of my mind, I'm like, am I actually dapping up 10 people and in between sets talking to like different girls, boys? Like, or is it my mind just playing tricks on me? But genuinely, I think in the gym, I'm like, it's actually mad how social I am. It's actually crazy. But like, my mental health is just rocketed up. So I've been at this gym for years, by the way. And I was just a guy staring in the mirror, non-social. And then in about 2 months, I became the social guy just by fist pumping random men. Been like, the gains have just absolutely skyrocketed. I mean, look at that chest, bro. Like, gains are going through the roof. And very rarely you'll meet someone that you're actually compatible with from the gym to meet outside of the gym. Mainly because they'll either believe you to be on a lower level to them because of their ego, because gym is quite an egotistical place, or it will be you thinking that you're better than them. That happens more than you think, and like, I don't think you'll quite understand that yet. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't think you'll understand that yet, but the next form of like absolute social dominance and like how to be social in a non-degenerate place is go solo traveling. So, by the way, I did go solo traveling, and when I went to Bali, I was clubbing, but I was clubbing sober. Hostels might be more of a social environment than university. And that's a crazy thing to say. Let me just put it into perspective. When I was at university, walking down the stairs at 8 a.m. to go to rugby training, there was still girls, boys sweaty in their dresses and in their clothes from the previous night. Like outside, still with like drinks and stuff on the floor. That's how social it was. That's how like desperate everyone was. So I'm literally saying a hostel is even more social than that. It's like, you know, them times where you're having such a fun time and everything's popping off, so you don't even want to go to the toilet. That's what you'll feel like every single second at a hostel. But the thing is, it's like addicting in a way where it's not that fun if you're like me and you're like everyone else who didn't want to go to. It's crazy. Like we literally had this conversation. I don't even want to go to the toilet because like we're scared of like. And there was this guy in front of me. He was saying, "Oh, I'm really hungry. I'm really hungry." I was saying, "Bro, just get up and order food." I could tell like he didn't even want to get up from the table because we were having such like a fun time. So in this video, I've outlined many ways where you can actually be social without nightlife, without university, and do it in like a God breath way. If you want more tips on similar scenarios, similar things, subscribe, but you don't have to. You really don't have to subscribe. I'm just here to help you, but if you don't subscribe, you probably won't see me again. So yeah, this has been Starboy Raphael. Starboy's going viral. Starboy in the real world is a killer. I might have a few months ago, like posted videos on TikTok about, well, basically me chatting to these girls and things like that. That was, if you look at the videos on TikTok, I was in the same jumper every single video. That's because it was from just one night out and I went viral from that. So deep that. So follow me on TikTok if you're interested in that as well. And it's been Starboy Raphael.